There was once a farmer who lost everything and smiled. What he knew changed my life forever. This farmer owned one horse his entire livelihood. One morning, it vanished. His neighbors rushed over crying, "What terrible luck, you'll starve." The farmer simply said, "Maybe, maybe." His world was collapsing, yet he seemed peaceful. What did he know? Have you ever wondered if your worst day might be your best day in disguise? This ancient story proves why you should never judge a moment too quickly. What happened next will completely shift how you see your problems. This farmer had weathered hands and calm eyes. His small farm barely fed his family. That one horse was everything. Without it, he couldn't plow, couldn't plant, couldn't survive. His neighbors pitied his poverty, yet he was the only one who slept peacefully. Every morning he touched the earth and whispered, "Thank you for what comes." His son thought him naive. The village thought him simple. But the farmer knew something they didn't. Without that horse, the farmer couldn't plow, couldn't harvest, couldn't survive winter. The entire village gathered at his door, mourning his fate. "You were already poor, now you'll starve." His son raged, "Father, stop saying maybe. This is a disaster." Even the wealthy merchant arrived with pity loans. But here's what terrified them most. The same fear that haunts us all. We're one loss away from ruin. Life is randomly cruel. Good people suffer while bad people prosper. The son calculated they had only weeks of food left. Neighbors whispered, already dividing his land among themselves. His wife cried silently while mending their last sack of grain. Yet the farmer tended his small garden, humming softly. "Maybe," he whispered to the wind. The village decided grief had driven him mad. Days later, thundering hooves shook the ground. The horse returned, leading 12 wild horses behind it. Suddenly, the farmer was the richest man in the village. Neighbors flooded his home, celebrating. "What incredible fortune! You're blessed by heaven." The farmer said, "Maybe." His son, thrilled with their new wealth, began breaking the wild horses. On the third horse, he was thrown violently. His leg shattered. The healer confirmed, "He'll never walk normally again." The neighbors wailed, "Your only son crippled. What terrible luck." The farmer held his crying son and whispered, "Maybe." The village stood baffled. Was this wisdom or madness? Weeks later, distant thunder, but not from the sky. Soldiers on horseback stormed into the village. War had been declared. Every able-bodied young man must join the army immediately. Mothers screamed as sons were dragged away. The survival rate, less than 1 in 10 would return home. The soldiers reached the farmer's house. They saw his son's twisted leg. They moved on. All around, neighbors whose sons were taken collapsed in grief. They finally understood. They whispered in awe, "His broken leg saved his life." That evening, the farmer and his son sat watching the sunset. "Father, how did you know?" The farmer handed him a seed. "Plant this. Will it become shade or firewood, food or poison?" We never know what anything truly is until its story is complete. Every tragedy carries tomorrow's blessing. Time passed. The son became the village's most sought-after teacher. His limp, a constant reminder that blessings hide in broken places. He developed a philosophy, the maybe mind, never judging events too quickly. The horses became the foundation of a breeding business. The farmer gave them 2 families who'd lost sons in the war, rebuilding the entire community. When the war finally ended, only a handful of young men returned. The son helped them heal, teaching them to see their survival not as guilt, but as purpose. Years later, the farmer passed peacefully, surrounded by grandchildren who existed only because their father wasn't taken to war. His final words, "My lost horse gave me everything." The story spread across generations and borders. Today, millions find comfort in maybe during their darkest moments. Every blessing contains the seed of challenge. Every curse carries hidden grace. Maybe isn't indifference, it's wisdom. It means, I trust life's larger pattern even when I can't see it. Your worst moment might be saving you from something worse. Your loss might be clearing space for something better. Trust the maybe. What's your lost horse that became a blessing? Share below. Let's create a library of hidden blessings. If this shifted your perspective, like and subscribe for more ancient wisdom for modern problems. Share with someone facing their horse-escaped moment. Remember, you're not living a tragedy. You're in the middle of a transformation story.